So you want to cook up beats today, but you're running into a block. Pay attention to this video because today I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can get over beat block. The first thing you want to do if you're running into beat block is to actually take a break. You know, sometimes we can get really comfortable cooking up beats over and over again that we don't actually give ourselves time to miss it. You know, it's kind of like a relationship. If you just smother each other nonstop and see each other over and over again, you can start to get bored, you can start to get tired, and you can start to not really appreciate the dynamics of that relationship. And it's similar to making beats. You need to give each other chances to miss each other. So if you give yourself a little bit of a break, maybe a couple days, maybe a week, and then come back to cooking up beats, you can give yourself a little more appreciation for the beat making process. It's almost refreshing. You can get that fresh new kick. It's like, this is something that I love doing, but I just needed to take a little bit of a break, you know, give myself the chance to miss it, listen to some music, you know, listen to different genres of music, really get back into the music fan side of things. You feel what I'm saying? As opposed to just music maker. And to do that, you can give yourself a break. Go out to see some shows, hang out with friends, maybe even sample different things in the process. Don't get into the cook up phase, just sample different things, save it, and you know that you'll come back to it later. And that's still essentially within the umbrella of taking a break. So the next thing you want to do is experiment with other genres. You know, if you get in your comfort zone, it's real easy to just get burnt out and feel like, you know, what am I gonna do next? I'm bored. I'm just gonna, you know, hit a kick, hit a snare. I'm not really inspired. What am I gonna do? You know, and once again, getting out of your comfort zone is gonna help you be inspired once again. So when it comes time to cook up, instead of maybe trying to make a beat that sounds like it goes to Moneybagg Yo, you can maybe take time to make a beat that sounds like it's going to someone like Burna Boy or Mariah the Scientist, just someone who you usually wouldn't make those type of beats for. You know, cooking up beats in other genres is really going to introduce you to different styles of putting together drums, or, you know, different styles of choosing bass patches or choosing piano patches. You know, once again, like I say frequently, if we're going to tell the truth, guys, if we're going to tell the truth, a lot of the times we're still essentially making variations of either the same beat or very similar beats over and over again. And we need to try to push ourselves out the comfort zone of doing that, because, you know, one, it can get redundant where we feel like we already know what we're gonna make and then we run into beat block, or B, we can become pigeonholed just as that one producer who can only make that one type of beat. So if you push yourself out your comfort zone proactively, listen to other genres of music, try to emulate certain aspects of those genres of music, and then incorporate it into your own workflow, then, you know, in the future when it comes time to cook up, you're not just gonna sit there like totally uninspired. You can maybe go out to a club with your friends and listen to something, somebody driving past in a car, listen to a certain rhythm. You already know how to put it together. You already know how to put those percussions together. You know how to twist a certain knob in your VST to get that sound that you normally wouldn't reach for. But now that you've experimented with other genres, you know what that other genre likes. And then you could take that, place it into the type of music that you like to make, and then start to create a different type of fusion. You're gonna find ways to create like different ear candy. I've done it before. It's really fun and super useful. So not only does it help get you out of beat block, but it also expands your palette. It just gives you more options when it comes time to making beats. The third thing we're gonna do if we run into beat block, we're gonna either use loops or we're gonna create our own loops. So some people like to say that using loops is cheating, it's not real music production. Let me tell you this, guys, I really come from the era when it comes to sampling. You know, I've owned a turntable, I currently own cassettes, I currently own vinyl. You know, sampling is really the backbone of hip hop music, and the majority of you guys who follow me are making hip hop, R&B, Afrobeat, those styles of music. And, you know, sampling is really what drives that genre. So creating loops is almost like sampling just independent musicians. It's how I kind of like to look at it. So when it comes time to trying to get through beat block, you know, maybe you're just a little too comfortable with the style of loops that you already have. Maybe you need to actually step out and try to create your own loops, and that's going to give you a lot of skills when it comes time to cook up beats. Because when I make beats, essentially it's like if I'm making beats without any type of sample or anything, you know, I'm just looping things around. I'm playing a piano, I'm playing strings, I'm adding synths, I'm adding pads, and essentially I'm creating a loop and then I'm adding drums to it. So as opposed to being in the mindset of, okay, I need to finish this beat right here, right now, let me make sure I'm totally done with it. You know, for all those producers who do actually compose beats, you know, just sit down and just be inspired, just pour your spirit out, pour your emotions emotions out just strictly on those melodies, you know, and then go ahead and save it. Keep doing it over and over again. And I'm going to tell you something from firsthand experience. If you sit down in your DAW and you say, okay, I'm not going to make beats today, I'm just going to make loops. One thing is going to happen is as you're creating those loops, you're just gonna magically get inspired to actually create a full beat. So, you know, you have a couple options. You can proceed through to actually create a beat, or you can stay in the mode of batch creating different loops for yourself, or maybe even to send out to other producers. And that's another way that you can get inspired to create beats if you're in Beatblock. So that's something that just is like a happy accident that tends to happen whenever you are in Beatblock. It's that magic moment of creating that loop and like, ooh, I'm really feeling that loop. Ooh, I really want to add this snare. I really want to add this kick. And that's kind of a byproduct of creating those loops, creating those melodies for yourself. And now, as a bonus, another thing that you can do to help you get through Beatblock is to actually collaborate. So reach out to another producer. If you already have producer friends, reach out to them, ask them what they've been cooking up. Maybe it could just be a drum pattern that they have. Maybe it's just a melody that they have, and you two send that over to each other. You never really know what type of inspiration you can gather in the moment, man. There's something about collaborating with other producers that I really enjoy. It's like they make decisions that I wouldn't make, but since we're on the same frequency, it's like I like the decision, but it's just so different than what I would have decided. And it's always a fun and magical experience. And that's another way. It's a little bonus tip to help you get through any type of beat block that you're currently experiencing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out DesmondASounds.com to get free loops, free FL Studio Patcher plugins, free guides, everything that you need. Also, make sure you subscribe to my Discord. Got a lot of great things in there, including loop makers who post on my Discord. So make sure you check those out too. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace.
Desmond A.